So I feel like, you know, lots of people, this question is like, it might mean, or it answers differently, because I feel like it's relative. Are women trying to be too equal to men in our society today? To be honest, it depends on your experience. I feel like sometimes when I see some things where I feel like, okay, yeah, this is too much. Like, as in, you guys should just chill. I feel like, biologically and psychologically, men and women have been created differently. We're not the same. Spiritually, even in all religion, and um God, the pronouns used for God is masculine. It's not feminine. So, and as people get wiser, they begin to question things. For instance, in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve ate the apple, they only said they understood good and evil knowledge, but they didn't tell us what. It depends. They probably started asking questions like, "Oh, how can someone say let there be light and there was light?" How can I think this man is lying to us? How were we really, really made? I'm just imagining, like, that's what probably started happening to them after they ate the apple, because wisdom entered. They started to ask, because normally we're not supposed to ask some certain type of questions, not because it's not, let me not say normally we're not supposed to ask some certain type of questions, but the way it's designed, we're supposed to just believe, really. Do you understand? So taking that incident to what we are today, we have like lots of wisdom, knowledge going around the world, social media, globalization is a lot. We're just, everybody's not asking questions. People are now questioning things, and it's making us, because God has given us the willingness to think. God has given us, the brain to think. So we're now starting to ask questions. We're now starting to dig deeper. Like, okay, why is this? Why is it like this? Why is it like that? But unfortunately, that's just how the world is. Psychologically, mentally, biologically, anyhow, men and women are different. That's why there's a man and there's a woman. We're not the same. We're never meant to be the same. But as humans would have it, getting knowledge, it's one thing to get knowledge and to be with someone. That's why in this country, with the kind of work I do, you see things like, oh, if a young person is dating someone that's like 4 years older than them and they're still like teens, they'll say no, because the dynamics of power is different. One person knows more thing than the other. So that's how human beings are. Men realize that power. Instead of them to use it as a way to be, to use the power to be good, as humans, they acted as humans and they started to take advantage of it. And due to taking advantage of it, people got tired. Women got tired of being oppressed, because that was not how it was meant to be. Men were not supposed to be more powerful than us for them to oppress us. They were supposed to be more powerful than us for them to protect us. But they started to... So they said, but they started, instead of them to protect us, they took advantage of that
that's
power,
interesting.
which every human does. Sometimes we complain when we're not in the place of power. We complain about what the other person does. But when we're in place of power, most times we do what the other one we're complaining about, or we like it when we know someone that is in place of power. We come to a line, want to shunt the line because we know the person in front, or we know whoever is at the end of the line or something. That's power. So men started to take advantage of it, and women started to try to take advantage of it in their own way. Some wise women would, instead of them to succumb to, would I say wise or old in the olden days, not now, which are feminists. So they them, some women of wisdom back in the day would say things like, "Oh, love him more, be more patient." But what we're doing was literally like enabling bad behavior. So we're loving them more. So if a man hits a point in his life where he doesn't have any other hope or anything, they go back to their wife. Oh, thank you for being there for me. I love you so much. Meanwhile, if that woman should actually sit down and give it a good think, she had more bad years than good years. But she's not giving it a thing, because the way the society, the way religion, the way everything has created, she just be looking at that particular thing as a win. Like, oh, finally, after he had gone round, he had come back to the safe place. Thank God. But now, women are questioning, like, is that really a testimony? Why do I have to suffer all those years? What can I enjoy? If that makes sense. And
right.
Yeah, what can I enjoy? People start questioning things. And the thing about it is, once you start to question things, it's good to question, but the thing, what happens is you arrive at too many answers, and due to those too many answers, people are bound to react differently. That's why I said that question is very relative. Someone can a man can realize that, oh no, treating a woman, this is why God wants us to be like this, let's change. Unfortunately, you might meet a woman that has been dealt with wrongly, or has the notion of, when you enter, chop, when you finish chopping, go, all men are useless, and you have a bad experience, come out with a different type of notion, and so the cycle just keeps going around. But the thing about it is, in a normal world, if we're in an utopian world, men were supposed to be higher than women, and women were supposed to be submissive to men. Men were supposed to love women. That love will make the woman to be submissive. If a man loves you, you just be submissive. You don't have to argue. You don't even have time to argue, because you're just busy enjoying the love, really, if that makes sense. So now everybody is experiencing different things, questions flying up and down, people based on their experience, based on what they've heard, different things, making them to react in certain ways, doing things. And now we're asking questions like, oh, are women trying to be more equal than men today? And so, to be honest, we're not trying to be more equal. We're just trying to breathe. We're just trying to live. We're just trying to be happy. We're just trying to not be oppressed. But in the course of doing all of that, other things come up, and people start fighting. People start grieving more than the bereaved, and start doing other things, and use the cause to, develop other things that, are not meant to be. But in the real sense of it, if we're looking at it, yes, women are actually trying to be more. I think we're looking for equity, but I don't know, we're not getting it. And with the way some of the things that we're doing, the way it screams like we're trying to be. But I think, honestly, we're just really trying to be like, get equity in the world. We don't want to be judged, or things to happen to us based on, because we are women. But at the same time, we are biologically and psychologically built to be calmer, to be more emotional, and we need other things. And men are, I don't know, it's a very big question, honestly. And I feel like it should be relative to a situation, based on experience, and lots of other conversations. Because there's some things I hear that our mothers say, and I'm like, no, it's not supposed to be like that. But at the same time, there's some things I hear some feminists say, and I'm like, no, it's not supposed to be like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.